I mean, like, growing up, I would be, like, taken as, like, full Chinese by the people who saw me, and then, like, I get to China, and they think I look like fucking Justin Bieber. Blah. Bro, you got me fucked up. Thin, salty, fatty fries, as opposed to traditional, classical Belgian fries. Belgium makes better chocolate than Switzerland, just so you know. KFC chicken, you just can't be doing that and have like any sort of respect. I can't lie to my fans. The Midwest fucking sucks, bro. What, is that wrong? Are you telling me I'm wrong? Max, if you're seeing this, I just want to let you know that you don't have the guts to put this in the final cut of the video.
Alright. Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Sippin Soju. We have a very special guest, my good friend and roommate right now, Mr. Jonathan Chen.
Hello, hello, interwebs.
Thank you so much for being on the show, man.
Yeah, my pleasure to be here.
Have you seen any of the previous episodes?
I was advised to be aware of the halftime show, I think.
Yeah.
But nothing else. Nope.
It's a fun component of the show that I think you'll get a kick out of, but...
Are you going to put your notes somewhere in the background so I can screen cheat?
Put my note?
Yeah. I'm the first non-Zoom guy on here, so I figured I might have an upper hand perhaps.
No, that's actually a really good call out because I totally forgot that I'm not over Zoom. So yeah, like we're currently in my studio. Got the Yeti mic here. Both got the beers going. So definitely doing things a lot better this time. So hopefully you guys enjoy the quality and everything. But
Mr. Mao, what are you drinking tonight?
this is a summer shandy. Shout out to James Ridgway for the free beer. What about yourself?
I gotta rep my heritage right now. I've got a Belgian style dark ale.
Okay.
Yep. It's called Trois Pistoles. I don't know what that means. I know it means three.
The way you said it, I would not have guessed that you didn't know what it meant.
I mean, I sort of have some exposure to the French language, but I can tell you the first word means three, and this sticker has three spires of some sort of building, so I'm gonna guess pistole means like spire or tower or something like that.
And have you ever had that specific beer before? Or?
Not this beer, not this company either.
Okay.
It's a Canadian beer. I feel like Canadian beers have been something
hot topic
as of late.
Yeah.
No, but first time trying it, not so bad. I usually don't go for dark style beer, but it's pretty good.
Awesome. Well, for those of you who don't know Jonathan, most likely everyone, Jonathan, do you want to introduce yourself? We can start with like where you're from, where you went to college, where you are now, and then also any fun facts.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Jonathan Chen. I am originally born in Michigan, but I've only really lived there for the first 3 or so years of my life. So afterwards I went to North Carolina, to Winston-Salem. I spent pretty much the rest of my life up till end of college just living in there. I went to Wake Forest University. That is the city where Winston-Salem is as well. So I was a townie back there. Yeah. I then started work at Epic. Became roommates with Max in the last year and a half, 2 years almost. That's sort of my background, I guess. I am half Chinese, half Belgian, so that's the reason for the beer, to rep that for all those people who take a look at me and is like, I don't know what ethnic background that guy is.
Yeah, do you actually mind getting to the camera a little closer so the viewers can get a close-up?
This ain't natural.
Oh yeah, true. The lighting makes I think the lighting does wonders.
It's really making It's glossing up my do right now. I'll give you that.
Yeah. Speaking of do, I desperately need a haircut. I almost considered like putting a bag over my face or like having a hat.
You should do that anyways. I think.
Yeah. But that's awesome, man. So when did you? So you were born in the U.S., right?
I was. Yep. Me and my brother.
Gotcha. So like, I guess could you give a little more backstory as to like your Belgian heritage and like how that came about?
Yeah. So my dad is Chinese. My mother is Belgian. They met because my dad did his graduate studies at the Belgian university that my mom went to for undergraduate. They got married and they moved to the U.S. I want to say in 1991.
Okay.
They stayed there for some time. They were affiliated with, I think my mother was taking classes, not at University of Michigan, I believe at Wayne State, something like that in that area.
Yeah.
I was born in 97. I'm the oldest child.
The leader of the pack.
Leader of the pack of two. I have one other sibling. My brother was born a couple years after me. Pretty much right after he was born is when we moved. Yeah. And then 24 years old now. It's been a minute.
I know, it's been a hot minute, right?
It's been 24 years or so, I'd say.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. I've met a lot of different people, but never someone who's like, I never met anyone from like who's like Belgian. So that's really cool.
I don't suppose that necessarily translates just looking at me face value.
Yeah. Do you think like culturally you've picked up any like Belgian specific traits, or is there anything that like runs in your family that you're like, oh, this is definitely like a Belgian tradition or something like that?
I think a lot of the significant things that like make Belgian culture stand out is a lot with the food. So not necessarily any like personality, but rather like the food that I've been exposed to, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
One lesser known fact is that French fries are actually a Belgian creation. So
you get out of here.
If you ever
That's crazy, yeah.
It's on aside for a lot of dishes. You've got waffles, of course. Belgium famous for that. Belgium makes better chocolate than Switzerland, just so you know. And of course the beers. Those are the three main things. Yeah. So I think it was very interesting growing up having that sort of European and Asian background. Very not typical American. But I feel like that's not necessarily something that you couldn't relate to.
Yeah. Being that, Jonathan already knows this, but for everyone else tuning in, I am also, my parents are immigrants as well, so they're from Shanghai and they immigrated to the U.S., and hence I popped out and I was born. So, but going back to what you said about the whole French fry thing, is there a specific like type of cut of fries? Is it like the thick ones, the thin ones? Like which one was invented first, you know?
So typical Belgian fries are a little on the thicker side. They're not really salted like you would find with fast food fries because it's more a side for a dish.
Okay.
A lot of the focus when you get them is like what kind of dipping you get with that. They're a lot more focused on
the sauce
essentially, and ketchup is not. It's I guess an option, but it's not really very traditional.
Okay.
Usually you want to find a mayonnaise or something, and I know that probably first reaction for a lot of people is like mayo.
Yeah, mayo. It's kind of thick.
It's not the same kind of mayo that Hellmann's is, for example. It's not. It's a little lighter. It's definitely more flavorful. If you're ever in Belgium, you might just find like a street vendor who's just selling fries, and it comes with some sort of garlic mayo on the side. It's a lot better than just saying mayonnaise and French fries would to the normal American.
Yeah.
The American version of those foods is just different enough where it doesn't make sense to do that. But I promise you, it's very good. It's very normal outside of the U.S.
I think I've had the exact sauce that you're talking about. Maybe it wasn't like
Mm-hmm.
the one that you get in like Belgium, but like it's like an aioli, right? It's like a mayo garlic
Yeah.
aioli. Yeah, I think I've had
Yeah.
that like I think somewhere here in Madison, Wisconsin, actually.
Madison would be a place to do it.
Yeah, maybe. But that's cool. So like, do you think Belgian fries are superior to like, let's say, a fine establishment like McDonald's?
Ah, yes, the ye old golden arches. I feel like that's not. Honestly, the comparison is a little harder to make than it might seem because the American version of fries is a lot fattier and saltier. It's definitely more appealing at a base level. I
Gotcha.
mean, I've obviously got bias, but I would take Belgian fries any day. But there's obviously a market for the Americanized version. So, I mean, it's got a place in my heart too. But can't beat the classic.
Yeah, no, I don't think I've ever had the Belgian style fry, but would definitely be curious to try it if I ever get the chance.
You should.
In addition to fries, you said chocolates are also superior in Belgium. What's the difference like in like flavor or like taste? Like or can you even tell the difference?
So
It just has the branding on it.
no, you can tell.
Okay.
Belgian chocolate. I mean, to tell the story properly, you got to go all the way back to some shady European
Take me back.
colonial history, I guess, when everyone was, or every like major Western European power was going after Africa, splitting it up into a bunch of colonies. Britain and France got most of the continent. Belgium really only had one major colony, and that was what is now known today as the Democratic Republic of the Congo, which is a large portion of Central Africa. It has a ton of rainforest, and it was a really great place to source cocoa beans. So that's sort of like the origin. They had access to the best, like, ingredients, and so they became known for their chocolate production, and just over the years they've learned how to refine it, and it's at a state now where the stuff that you get from Belgium is just richer, it's smoother. They have all this other sorts of variants, like if you can think like one of those Godiva boxes that has all this fun shapes and fillings and stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of it is inspired on stuff that Belgian chocolatiers started. It's like one of the main exports really for Belgium as well. And now, of course, like these days, most Western countries are producing chocolate as well, but they're famous for a reason.
Gotcha. And are they more known for like milk chocolate or dark chocolate? When you say chocolate, what type did they start?
I mean, kind of
first?
everything.
Okay.
You have to. I mean, like for the most part, dark chocolate kind of has to be the starting point because it's like the purest form. It's like the most rich in cocoa powder. Personally, I'm a milk chocolate kind of guy. I just take the edge off a little bit.
Yeah. No, I think for me, I like dark chocolate better. I feel like I kind of like the bitterness, but like I guess to each their own.
I mean, I drink beer too. It's not that I don't like dark chocolate. It's just
it's a preference. Yeah. No, that's cool, man. And have you been to Belgium?
Oh yeah, I
How many times? Yeah.
I honestly lost count. I think I'm very fortunate to be able to say something like that. Having my cultural background with like half of my family's basically living in Europe full time, another half is in China the whole time. I've been able to travel to both places a lot, particularly during summers, pre-COVID, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, travel is something that I was exposed to at a really young age, and it's one of the things that I like to do most, honestly. I've been able to visit many European countries because there's a lot of small ones in a sort of close area. The Eurozone makes it easy to get around. So I've done a number of trips. I've got a lot of opinions on foods of the world
Yeah.
as well.
Would you say that's impacted your like love for geography? Because I know that you, well, I mean, to give a little context, for your 23rd birthday, we got you a custom hoodie that had like continents and everything on them, and you pointed out that there's a manufacturing flaw because like a couple of the countries were like written down twice or something like that.
They just misspelled Nicaragua.
I mean, common mistake.
You just can't be doing that and have like any sort of respect for your product. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely, I would say traveling contributed to my love of geography as well. I kind of feel like I have like a more spatially oriented mind. I felt that like maps and just like navigation came to me quicker, I guess, than it seemed to come to other people. And this is sort of the humble brag section of the video, I guess, but I don't. It's just something that interested me.
Yeah.
So I picked it up.
I feel like that's a really useful hobby and interest as well. It's like the more you travel, like, well, I feel like it takes two skills. Number one, it takes a skill to like actually know where you're going. It's like finding locations, and then a second skill is like actually being able to dig into like what there is to do there. Because like going on Yelp, going on these deep dives to figure out like, oh, the best restaurants, the bars, and all that stuff. I feel like I've personally learned a lot from doing that, just from like traveling more recently. But yeah, I feel like those two things they definitely go hand in hand with just like geography.
Yep. And I like how you touched on just like getting like a sense of other cultures and stuff. I think that's one of the most important things that we can do with our free time, is just to live outside of your normal world and see how other people spend their days.
Yeah. Just getting enlightened, really.
Yeah. Culture shock is real, and I dare people to go out
Experience
and experience it.
Speaking of culture shock, you're out in the Midwest. That's something that I take it before.
What are you talking about? I was born in the Midwest.
Were you?
Were you not? Oh man, you're not listening to what I said earlier.
Yo, cut.
I told you I was born in Michigan.
Yeah.
I moved away before I could really remember it.
Exactly.
So like,
that's what.
You're right.
That's what I was intending. Come on, guys. Yo, roll the clip back.
But yeah, I guess technically,
from what you can remember.
From what I can remember, what?
Like from what you can remember, like you didn't really have many experiences like being able to like explore the Midwest because you were such a child.
Right.
Yeah.
So I didn't form many memories where I was living in Michigan. I guess I would just be technically Southern born and raised, but where I'm from, it doesn't feel like the South.
Yeah, North Carolina is like, I feel
parts of North Carolina are really South, parts aren't. I mean, there's parts in Virginia that are more South than where I'm from.
Yeah. Honestly, Wisconsin is like pretty Southern.
I guess I can see what you're getting at.
But yeah, I guess like overall, how was the move from like being in Winston-Salem for 4 years and then going to like randomly Madison, Wisconsin? Like, what was your first initial impression?
That was definitely a shot in the dark. It could have gotten a lot worse, or it could have gone a lot worse than I think it did. I mean, I moved during a pandemic. I really only knew one person I was going with. As it stands right now, my brother and my mom are the closest people to me, and they are in North Carolina still. Everyone else is a continent away. I don't have any like family around, and that's been like a recurring theme. Like when all my other friends are going to see their family on a long weekend or something like that. Coming here was scary, to be sure. I think I was fortunate to be able to like find a group of people to connect with.
He found me.
Yeah, sure you. Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah,
Right.
of course. No, because like through James, like that's how we all met together.
Mm-hmm.
And we also like I feel like we FaceTime a couple of times just to like
I had
get to meet each other. Yeah,
but
also like you don't really know someone until you actually like meet them and live with them. So
yeah, I mean signing a lease for a place we'd never walked into
Yeah.
at the same time, and then like going to work in a state where you have no connections is an adjustment to be sure.
yeah, speaking of like living in a place, so this is actually the place where we initially tried to move to. It's a farmhouse. There's technically like 5 bedrooms, well 4 bedrooms, but we pretty much converted like the living room area into Jonathan's room because it's massive and like we don't need that space. But yeah, like we found this property on, I think I may have
You
found
found
it
it, yeah.
on like Google. I just typed in like 4-bedroom like areas, and this is one of the first ones that popped up. And we literally got like a house tour on FaceTime, and the reception was so bad that like our landlord would like be glitching between rooms, and she'd be like, "Yeah, did you guys see that?" And we're like, "Yeah, it looked good." And we literally only see like a white door. So it was definitely like a little bit nerve-wracking, given that none of us had ever been here before. But I think it is nice, and I feel like the transition could have been a lot worse, like you said. It is nice when you have like at least like a small core group of people that you're going into the dark with. It makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I guess overall, what are your thoughts on living in a farmhouse? Have you ever lived on a farm before?
No. I mean, I guess it looks pretty out of the way, but we kind of are in a pretty good spot. The routes that you need to take to work into the downtown, pretty straightforward. And then you get out here, parking has been a cinch. Love that. The space, the price, the cost of living has been great.
Yeah.
So, plus Madison itself is a cool place to live. So as far as like the environment, definitely cool place to be. No complaints there. Moving in a pandemic has affected things, obviously, but
I completely agree. I think definitely getting. First of all, I think we're all pretty fortunate to like have employment during the pandemic, because I know a lot of things just completely shut down, and thankfully, like I think everyone in your family and mine as well, like no one was really impacted by COVID, so that was good. But what was, I guess, speaking of the pandemic, what was like the hardest challenge for you, would you say? Because like I think we both graduated class of 2020, right?
Yep.
So was a portion of your last semester like just like canceled or just remote?
You're bringing up some bad memories.
Yeah. Wait, let's dig into it. This is why we're on Sippin Soju podcast.
All right. I mean, yeah. Whose senior year, class of 2020, wasn't ruined at the end of it?
Yeah.
I had stuff lined up. Everyone did.
What'd you have lined up? Because I'm trying to reminisce on the more devastating
pull
times.
my heartstrings out.
Yeah. Preferably if you could cry on the podcast too. That would be really cool clickbait.
Oh yeah, well, you want to get the thumbnail shot?
Yeah. I have some eye drops. We can do that later.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. There were some like formals towards the end of the year. Some like senior celebration stuff. Some like after party. Like beach trip. A bunch of stuff just got like
Just completely gone.
completely gone.
Yeah.
Not only that, you just like you are like one day you're just like in your normal day to day. You see people and you don't realize you're never gonna see them in person again for the rest of your life or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, like there's still people that are like that for me. Some of my friends that I've been able to keep in touch with, but just like they're just like gone before you know it, and it's just like tough.
Because like there's always that one last trip or that one last meal or that one last just like get together in person that you want to do, right?
I mean, you could say that forever, but at least when you have a normal graduation, you're prepared for it.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Everyone's like, we know this is the date that this is going to happen. And then for us, it was just blindside you know.
Yeah. Was it around like April or March or April?
Spring break, March.
Okay, gotcha.
Mid-March, wasn't it?
Yeah, the same happened for me, but luckily I just went with like some of my good friends from college to one of their homes, and then we were all hanging out together, and then we realized like COVID like had really severely hit the U.S. And then we were actually planning on going straight to Barcelona, but then we had to scrap those plans, and I just went back home to be with family.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean, with every L you take, there's a W somewhere along the horizon waiting for you to grab.
I got straight A's that semester, though.
Oh, hell yeah, let's go. Straight A's.
And I didn't take pass-fail classes. All right? That was legit.
Oh.
I took one class pass-fail, and I was taking it pass-fail before COVID started.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it doesn't...
Yeah.
It doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
I'm gonna...
And I did pass it, in case you were wondering.
I believe you. I'm gonna do this real quick. I'm gonna scroll down a bit. Yeah, so... Alright, we're gonna reset real quick. Yeah, so in terms of moving out to Madison, Wisconsin, I guess like out of all the opportunities that were available and out of like... We're going to start over. So, given that you studied math and economics in college, and I can imagine you're pretty good with numbers, and you definitely understand like data and stuff like that. I'm curious, what made you ultimately decide to move to Madison, Wisconsin to pursue a job at Epic?
I mean, to admit, Epic was not what I thought I would do coming out of college. I was looking at applied mathematics and things like that. I was flirting with the idea of actuarial science at one point. Statistics, I was a stat minor. Just some sort of like data analysis was the track that I was picturing, but you know, first job out of college, you're just trying to find something that you might be interested in. And one of the early college decisions that I had to make was like, I was feeling some pressure to become a doctor, like both my parents. So like a lot of people, I took chem classes and started to go down the pre-med track. And it just wasn't for me. I got out early enough, so I didn't ruin my life. But
I feel like shots fired.
well, I'm just saying, because it's not ruining your life if you go through with it.
Yeah.
But like if you like go down the pre-med track and you bail out late because you realize you don't like it at that point.
So me.
I didn't know.
Wait, you didn't know it was pre-med?
Nah, man.
You tripping, man. Crazy. Yeah, I mean, pretty much everything you mentioned, apparently I ruined my life. But to give you a little bit...
You know what? That's, forget I said anything. We're talking about me. I'm being...
Oh, yeah. Okay? Yo, well, my bad. But to anyone who's also watching as well, I think they're definitely... Like, being pre-med is definitely, like, a huge commitment and obligation. And to be fair, like, going from high school to college, if, like, you have parents who are, like, healthcare professionals, or if you have friends who are maybe doctors, it can be very enticing for you to want to pursue that path. But ultimately, I think in college, especially during your freshman and sophomore year, when you get opportunities to actually, like, try things out, hopefully they'll give you a better indication of whether you actually want to do it. Because, like, how it looks is not necessarily always what the day-to-day lifestyle is, you know? And for myself, contrary to the belief that I ruined my life, I was pre-med pretty much until senior year of college, and I did all the pre-med requirements. I just needed to basically take the MCAT, and that was the final step and hurdle that I just decided I didn't want to do, because there were other things I wanted to pursue, and there were more experiences that I wanted to gather that weren't related to being in school and being a doctor for, the 4 years of, schooling and then also like residency as well. So that's kind of how I ended up. I did not know you were pre-med though. That's interesting.
For like maybe a semester.
Fake. Yo, he fake though.
I just got my foot in the door, so if I wanted it to go down that route, I could.
Yeah.
I decided pretty early on that's not what I wanted to do though. And then that goes back to like why Epic is like, it's a healthcare company. It's along the same mission of like what I was, I believed in, like helping others, but in a format that suited my strengths better, I guess.
Yeah. I think that's also one thing that I did not get exposure or know about prior to college. Mm-hmm. It's that like a lot of people that want to become a doctor or like a healthcare provider, they're like, hey, I want to help people. And there's so many options in the world to help people. You could literally be in a position like Jonathan where he's working for Epic, like an EHR company, and helping out, bettering the system so that healthcare providers can, basically have a more streamlined process of, getting through patients and making sure that they're taken care of. And I feel like that's an opportunity that I did not know about prior to college. So definitely don't count anything out. You never know what you're going to like. And if you don't like something, you realize that in college, it's never too late. Life is about learning. And as long as you're always curious about learning, I feel like that's the most important thing, I'm totally just saying that because you think I failed at life.
I never said that. I just said, like, I was getting at the idea is, like, I wouldn't want to put that much time into a track and not go down it. But, like, at the end of the day, if that's not what you want, then you're making the right choice by stepping out.
No, for sure. And I don't think it's a waste either because I've definitely learned and developed skills that I feel like are tangible and transferable in not, like, the most common sense way. Because, like, I just feel like anything you learn, like, you do research in a lab, you learn how to work with a team, you learn how to troubleshoot problems, you learn how to use critical thinking. Like, throw that into any profession, and I bet you that you'll use those same skills. Just maybe not in the most literal sense,
There's definitely a lot of transferable skills.
Yeah. It's just like, hey, like, I want to make this nice mayo garlic aioli sauce. Maybe the ratio is not right, so you got to critically think about it and, arrange the ingredients together.
Yo, bro, Epic Culinary is hiring.
Yeah, no. And for everyone that doesn't know a little bit more about Epic Systems, essentially, it's a huge campus, right?
It's a theme park.
It's a theme park. It's like an amusement park.
Yeah.
Pretty much like Disneyland, except for work, right? Right.
Some people work at Disneyland,
Okay, well, but like, okay, yeah, fair.
I guess for context, yeah, it's an office building, but it doesn't look like it's an office building. It's multiple buildings that all have their own themes and whatnot, and it's literally extravagant because we profit off of the hospital systems and they line their pockets. So
yeah,
we're doing pretty fine by our own means,
Yeah, and that's like a big reason why I think a lot of people who are out of town, they move to Madison, Wisconsin. It's usually, I think, one of two reasons. The first could be because of like work, and Epic is a huge employer in Wisconsin. And then the second of which is University of Wisconsin, which is a huge college. They have a lot of things going for them as well.
Well, you say that second, but I'm sure that's the number one reason people move here.
Young people, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
It's a huge school, dude.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy that during, like, the almost 2 years that I've lived here, I feel like I still haven't really seen, like, that herd of people, Mm-hmm. I feel like I've been lucky enough to avoid, like, just being swamped in, like, a crowd.
You clearly have never been to one of the college bars on a Friday night or something like that.
I avoid that, man. I just tend to myself.
It's probably good.
Yeah.
It's probably good.
But you have, I take it?
I mean, like, one of our roommates, his girlfriend just graduated from college, actually. So that was our I guess, relive our college days for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like things aren't happening, but it's an like urban campus. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Speaking of like reliving your college experience, how does it feel to you being like a grown adult but living in a college town? Like, does that make you feel old?
I mean, it is sort of like the way it's set up. You've got like your college area, and then there's like a half that. Like Madison is still a young place, but there's parts of it that feel like, not college zone still. So like, if you're looking to stay away from that crowd, you certainly there's like a place for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you're on State Street and like it's the middle of the school and say just like any old night even, it can make you feel old.
The streets be filled, man. People be screaming. Yeah, no, that's actually a good point because there are a lot of bars that I realize that are like more college centric, and then obviously for those of you who don't know, Wisconsin's known for really two things. Number one is like cheese, right? It's like cheese curds, fried cheese, like any form of cheese, and the second of which is drinking. So like alcohol, beer, like PBR was founded in I think Milwaukee or something like that. So that's pretty sick. We have that going.
Convince me of that.
Alrighty, so we now made it to the halftime show. Jonathan, you're somewhat familiar with it, right? Or what do you know so far?
I've been told that you're gonna give me 3 super easy questions and then perform a dance for everyone.
Me?
Yeah, that's what I know.
Someone be lying to you. Someone straight be lying to you. But basically how the halftime show works is, previously I've done like types of trivia, and because Jonathan's a very worldly man, I've decided to switch it 180 degrees, and instead we're going to do types of shoes. So I'm going to show him a picture of a shoe, and I'm going to ask him what the name is and what year it was made, and if he can't answer that, then he has to do a dance for us.
Bro, you got me fucked up.
No, I'm totally kidding. I'm not doing that. I just want to hear your reaction. But yeah, like the rules are very similar to what you've seen. I'm gonna ask you 3 random trivia questions. They're not gonna be geography related, or you're gonna get it. So
this man's scared. He's scared.
And then basically,
you're not gonna throw me a bone. Come on.
Depending on what the question is, I'll do a little filtering. But basically, if you get all 3 questions correct, then I have to do a dance for 15 seconds. However, if you do not get all 3 questions correct, then you have to do a dance for 15 seconds, okay? But don't worry. I know you have moves. That's the thing though.
I've been working through this one, so just give me a
2 hours later.
We're ready.
Alright, sounds good. You ready for it?
I'm good. Yeah.
Okay. Question number 1. How confident do you feel?
10 out of 10.
All right.
Easy question.
What year was McDonald's founded?
I thought that was the first question. How confident are you?
Yeah.
Really? You're going to make me... This man doesn't want to dance for his people.
Yo, I already sang last time.
You sang? Oh, I didn't watch that. I gotta watch that one.
You gotta watch it. It was... I had to sing, I forgot what song I sang, but I sang a song.
You forgot what song you sang?
Yeah, I honestly forgot. Look back at that video.
Bro, I swear, didn't you film that like a week ago or something?
It was more like 5 days ago. I feel like you're just buying time.
Dude, it's not like that's not gonna help me. Like, you're expecting me to get the exact year?
If you get this year correct, then that will be your 1 question. However, because it's a little bit challenging, if you get it wrong, I'll still give you 3 more questions. So it's really just a pride thing right now. Can you get it right?
So this is a bonus question, basically.
No, if you get it wrong, everyone's gonna know you're not good at trivia. So do you really want that out there?
Oh, sorry that I don't know what year McDonald's was founded, I guess.
No, I'm just kidding.
But I gave it a shot, though. Let's see. When was McDonald's founded? Had to be somewhere in the 20th century.
And do explain, like, yeah,
my thought process.
Exactly. I love how you're just
letting
putting
you know
it out there.
Here's my thought process, right? McDonald's is one of those it's screaming mid 20th century to me because of all of the cultural shifts that were happening, post-war. Things were opening up, new American ideals, the American dream coming to life, and right at the heart of it, you got your Mickey D's thin, salty, fatty fries, as opposed to traditional, classical Belgian fries. All right. Tell you what, I bet it was founded a little bit before the era it got really popular. I'm gonna give you.
The wheels are turning.
We're pulling it out. I've got.
If we zoom in, we can see steam start going out. No, this
the pipes are bursting.
This is challenging.
1947.
Oh my! You're very close. Actually.
Am I?
Yeah, you're very close, and
how many
years? That's
off?
impressive. You're 8 years off.
8 years?
Yeah, that's
hey,
it.
Sounds
like
that.
Less than a decade.
What was it? When was it?
It was 1955. So yeah.
I was thinking 50s first.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's impressive, and this is the reason why I'm giving you harder ones, because for those who don't know, Jonathan makes Sporkle. Is that correct?
Yep. Sporkle.com trivia website.
Yeah, Jonathan's really.
Hey, no wait, this is the perfect plug. Hey everyone, look me up on Sporkle at Chenchilla. That's ChenChilla. I'm only one of the top 100 users on the site. I got lots of content, all different types of trivia questions and stuff on there. Give me a shout out.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yo, I'm gonna cut that out. No, like definitely do check it out. Jonathan spent a lot of time like making content there, and it's really cool. Like you also start making crossword puzzles, right?
Yep, that's my recent fix right now. I've got almost 50 stuff I've contributed, and I want to say 10 or so of them have even hit the homepage on Sporkle, so they got like vetted by mods and like seen by a larger audience and stuff. So if you're into crosswords, if you're into, I mean, honestly, I've made so many different like topics that you'll probably find something that's interesting, or you'll find something that someone else made. So
yeah, definitely do check it out. I'll link Jonathan's Sporkle in the description. So cool. All right, so now that we got the teaser out of the way, you ready for your 3 questions?
All right, let's do it.
All right, starting with question number 1. What country is famous for the fast food chain Jollibee?
The Philippines, right?
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Why am I shaking your hand? This is I'm 2 steps away from doing something regretful. Next question.
It's because you gave me that geography question, bro.
That's true. What do you call a popular mixed rice, meat, and vegetable dish in Korea? You have 10 seconds.
Oh shit! When did I get time, bro? I can't think under pressure. Nah, I definitely have heard the word before. What? Can you say the question again? Am I allowed to ask that?
You know what? No one's ever asked to repeat it, so yeah, I'll say it again.
I just want to know the ingredients again that you said.
What do you call a popular mixed rice, meat, and vegetable dish in Korea?
The name is escaping me. I think I've heard it before.
10 seconds left on the shot clock.
I know.
For the game winner, will you blow this layup? 2 points to get.
I'm not that kind of Asian, bro. Shit. Bulgogi. I don't have time left, so I'm just gonna throw out.
You're really close. Bulgogi's is the
meat.
It's the meat. Yeah. It's bibimbap.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Hey, you know what, Jonathan? It's quite unfortunate. I think we've identified that food may not be your forte, but you know, for the sake of the trivia, I'm gonna ask you one more question. If you get it right, then we'll do a redemption question. Okay.
Bro, how many bonus questions I got? No, I shouldn't say that. I should be thankful for the opportunity you're giving me.
Let's see, what else? What is the weight of a gold bar in Fallout New Vegas?
Bro.
Wait, actually, I take it back. I don't even know what that means. That's kind of dumb.
Are you just sourcing questions on a website or something?
Yeah. This is the same one that I asked Harley and Actually, no. When I asked Harley, I typed in expert trivia questions, and most of them I didn't know how to read the entire sentence because the words were like super complex, things I've never heard before.
That's expert trivia for you.
Okay. What kind of animal can't retract into its shell?
That's a strange question.
Isn't it a strange wording?
So, like, am I looking for, like, is the answer an animal?
Yes.
Okay.
You have 10 seconds.
And it has a shell and it can't retract into it?
Correct.
Like a crab? What am I supposed to say? What, is that wrong? Are you telling me I'm wrong?
Wait. Clearly, I think I need to repeat the question.
Okay.
What kind of turtle can't retract into a shell?
You said animal.
What kind of turtle?
Hey, roll that back. He said animal. I swear to God.
Yeah, I mean, you might be right. I'll have to write it back.
Dude, I swear to God, you said what kind of animal can't retract into its shell. What kind of turtle?
I'll start crying. Oh.
I mean...
The calm before the storm.
Turtles, tortoises. I'm just gonna go with a sea turtle.
You got it right. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, no. I was thinking, like, because, you know, the flippers don't really go in.
Like when I obviously I knew the answer 'cause I saw it. When I saw the answer, I was like just thinking of Finding Nemo, like how those turtles they never
Crush,
like
yeah.
yeah. All right.
Hey, this guy's sweating now. He's regretting giving me that extra shot.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I really am. Okay, this one's gonna be a tough one, but if you get this right, I deserve to do a dance. Okay.
Okay, let's hear it.
The final question is, what is the #1 seller at Walmart?
Like, what #1 selling product?
Yeah.
Oh,
Isn't that like an interesting one?
I guess.
I wonder like who
This is
put in the
this is a hard question.
Yeah.
I feel like the answer is gonna be like something that makes sense in hindsight, but I don't know if I can pull that.
I'm looking at the answer. I'm not even sure if that makes sense.
So you're just asking that because you know I'm not gonna get the right answer. Okay, now I gotta come up with something.
Yeah. Well, and
Out
also
of
like,
pocket.
do like speak your mind. Like, go through the
Speak
process.
my mind?
Yeah.
#1 seller at Walmart. Walmart sells a lot of stuff.
They're really they're like a one-stop shop. You can even
Yeah.
get gas there, I think, in some places.
Yeah. Food is too obvious, I think. I'm not gonna give
This is pretty specific.
specific.
Yeah. Like if you're gonna say food, it's like an actual food.
Right,
item.
I'm ruling out a category.
Yeah.
I don't think it's food. I don't think it's. I'll go ahead. I don't think it's clothing.
Okay. That's a good strategy.
Yeah.
Like going by categories, I feel like that gives you some peace of mind.
Yeah, I think I. This is why I got the trivia belt on, you know, because I think like that. #1 seller. It's gonna be something weird.
And also think of like quantity, right? When someone gets something like
They buy a lot of it.
yeah. So maybe that might help. It's like something that maybe isn't reusable, right?
Alright, I've been thinking about this for a little bit. I'm just gonna say it because F it, you know, at this point. My guess, final answer, we're gonna go with condoms.
You know, from Walmart?
I know, it's like not the it doesn't really make sense, but you kind of like leading me to believe it's not necessarily gonna make that much sense.
Yo, wait, give me 1 second. Wait, can you explain to me why you guessed that? I'm gonna actually look on Walmart's website and see.
I don't know if they sell them, but like I have that
No.
association with
I'm pretty
Walmart.
sure they do sell it, but I'm like, I wonder if we can like see what number in the category it is, because it's not condoms.
I know it's not, but I just get that perception of people who shop at Walmart. No offense if anyone out there
I shop at Walmart. No, so the answer was actually a food item, believe it or not. Excuse me. It was bananas. And I think that makes sense just because, like, again, like, I think they're counting the quantity of bananas, right? It's like each banana that's bought, and, like, you know, they keep...
Bro, then they could have said that their number one seller is grapes.
Oh, okay, then it might not be that, then.
I think that it's gotta be, like, bundles of bananas.
Yeah, you know, you're actually probably right there. Otherwise, they could have been, like, bundles of leaves and, like, spinach.
Yeah.
Or
bananas
like,
is definitely surprising to me.
Yeah, well...
I don't know.
I don't make the rules to the game.
You do.
I do make the rules to the game, but I don't make the answers to the trivia questions. So we're gonna close this Actually, we're gonna leave this open for a sec. And Jonathan, it's actually a great time, a great segue to have you do our first live, demo of the halftime show. So give the folks 15 seconds of the best move that you've got. Best moves. The floor is yours.
You're not even gonna give me music to dance to?
No, but I'll put music when we actually play it.
Gosh, this is so weird to think about. Alright, I'm just gonna imagine something in my head.
Yeah.
We're just gonna go. You start out slow, you know, start with the shoulders maybe, and then you go like head involved, move your foot around.
Get jiggy with it.
Get jiggy with it. I'm half a drink in, that's probably not enough. We're gonna go with that.
Okay.
Just do a side step.
Joints get a little loose. Yeah.
So jazz hands.
Yeah.
It looks like you lost another one.
Yeah. Get a little lower. Okay. Okay.
That's 15 seconds, right?
Hey, we'll take it. Hey, come on, man. Here.
Man, I can't believe you didn't dance with me.
Great. No, I mean, hey, next time. Great job. Thanks for being a good sport. It's never easy to dance in isolation, especially in another man's bedroom.
This man giving me questions about Walmart bananas.
Yeah, but yo, great job with that. Thanks for being a good sport, Jonathan.
I'll take 2 out of 3.
No, I think you killed it. So, question for you before we dive into what's next. What are your thoughts about the halftime show? And, like, would you have preferred something different, or, like, do you think it's creative?
I mean, I think it's a great idea, but you gotta stop teasing your viewers, man. They want to see you on the dance floor sometime.
They know where I live now, so you know you know where to find me on a Saturday night.
You reap what you sow is all I'm saying, you know.
You reap what you sow. I think I've heard that before. I still don't know what that means. Could you break that down?
Okay, so like, I mean, you live on a farm. Reap is just like some like
gathering.
Yeah, like, you know, gather the crops. What you sow is like planting the crops. So
So like what you give is what you get, kind of.
Yeah, like you reap what you sow. You had it come into you. You put yourself in that position, you know? I'm just saying, you make all these people dance for your viewers. Eventually, your viewers are going to want to see the man himself up there.
For sure, and honestly, once we hit 100K subs, they will get that.
Okay, you hear that, boys? 100,000 subs. Let's do it.
100,000 subs or 10,000 likes on this video. 10,000 likes on this video, and I'll do a 1-hour dance. Uncut. I'll just dance for a straight hour.
Hey, let's make it happen.
Alright. Yeah, thank you for being such a great sport there, Jonathan. These next couple of questions, I kind of wanted to dive into more of, you know, the personal side. I know we explored your background. We talked a little bit about, you know, moving during the pandemic, how you felt during those times. We even got into doing a little bit of physical exercise. You got a little loose, got a little G with it.
Hey, it's this Trois Pistoles, man.
Dude.
What can I say?
Foreign beers, they do that.
I mean, foreign. It's like a Canadian beer, but it's Belgian style. But yeah, foreign. It is technically foreign.
Speaking of foreign, being an adult means that you have now graduated from college, and that is now a previous part of your life. which may to some people may seem a little bit foreign. But what was your worst college experience? If you could talk about it.
Worst college experience. Huh. This one's kind of a... Yeah, we'll go with this. It's kind of a funny story at the same time. This was my first ever time that I threw up from alcohol. This was in college. I didn't do a lot of drinking in high school or anything like that.
Yeah.
So freshman year, I got a little in over my head. To set the stage here for a little bit, we have our freshman halls in like this. We got a close group of people, and our RA, we called him Dad because he had like a dad bod, and he was just so. He was definitely not the frat guy stereotype. He's like the polar opposite. He was this. He's a good guy stereotype. He was just a year older than us, so it was his first year being an RA.
Yeah.
We all had an amount of respect for him, but would never catch him at a party or anything like that. So he's always telling us, it's like, don't go too crazy or whatever.
Yeah.
Watch out for yourselves.
Looking out for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A dad,
Yeah.
He was that kind of guy. And he was like, it's funny because like you could tell he was not completely comfortable with being called Dad, and that just made it worse for him.
Yeah. That's probably why you guys called him that more.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. Long story short, it's spring semester, and there's one of the frats, I don't remember exactly which one, was doing some sort of themed night. It was called Chicken and 40s.
Okay.
They got, I think KFC chicken boxes.
Oh, that's awesome.
And a bunch of 40s. There were some punch there that we were indulging in, and then that was also, we ran into Matt, who was the RA, the guy we called Dad. It's a pretty funny moment to see him there, like, him being drunk, totally, like, completely 180 of what we knew of him, and then we were all having a good time as well, and he was, like, going on about how it was, like, so funny because he didn't even go out with us, we just ran into him there, and commenting on, like, he was saying, like, man, I can't believe I haven't really been doing this as much, I'm gonna go out every weekend now, something like that. There were a few people who had to pull trig at the party, but eventually we got back, and everyone kind of died when we got back.
What? Not literally though.
Not literally.
Okay,
No.
I'm getting flagged.
No literal deaths here.
Yeah.
We're talking metaphorically.
Yeah.
When our RA got back, he drunk called his girlfriend from his room, and he I wasn't there for this, but I heard that he had started like throwing up while on the call. Got it like all over his front door. It was pretty bad. There are a couple other instances as well of people having to empty the bowels, myself included. My roommate happened to be out of town that weekend too, so I ended up just I passed out essentially on top of my bed after getting back, and I woke up at like 5 in the morning or something, lights completely on, the door was completely open. I realized to myself, what the fuck? I've just been like here out in the open, sleeping, door wide open. It's kind of a scary thought.
Yeah, sketch, right?
Very sketch.
Yeah.
The reason I woke up was so I could go back to the bathroom for another usage, as it were, and then I was able to close my door this time on the way back, and then I was in a bad shape in the morning.
Yeah.
This is my first hangover, I guess. So honestly, that was, I mean, physically, I was probably at my worst then.
Yeah.
It's kind of a funny experience looking back at it. Not that I would do it again, obviously, but as far as just like worst college experience, maybe there were some things that were like emotionally worse, I guess, around COVID, but physically is the angle I'm going with, and I made some choices that night. I think I learned from it. I think we all did.
Yeah. I feel like what you described, I feel like that was a special moment because you got to bond with, people that you didn't really see in that context. And that's always fun, I feel like,
It was definitely funny because afterwards the RA was basically like, yeah, I don't have any power anymore.
It never happened. Yeah.
He just kind of dropped the whole being an RA thing around us. It was pretty funny.
Gotcha. Well, thanks for sharing that. Obviously, we don't like to end on a bad note. So, what was your best college experience, or rather, actually, we'll switch it up. What is your best experience being in the Midwest?
Best Midwest experience?
Yeah, like being that you've been here almost 2 years, a lot of new things. I feel like number one, probably. I mean, this is speaking for myself, but like living in a brand new place, like that's not like getting your own place, you know what I mean? Because like I lived in dorms in college, and then coming here, having to find a place and having to like figure out life on your own for the first time. How like being that you've been able to overcome that, and then just like I know you've been up to like a lot of different things, like exploring, hikes, stuff like that. What tops the cake?
Yeah, let's think. It's actually funny. I have an answer for the best college experience, but I have to think more on the best Midwest. Not that the Midwest hasn't been good to me, but I've been here for less time.
Yeah. With the college experience then?
All right. Best college experience. One of the hobbies that I enjoyed doing, and I guess it became sort of more of a hobby because I got a minor in it, but I did theater a lot growing up. I got a theater minor in college. That's one of my passions, is like acting and being around the stage. One of my side jobs was working in a scene shop, building sets for shows and stuff. I've helped in pretty much every capacity for various shows, from acting to directing, sound design, set building, backstage hands, even some stage management. But the experience that all culminated in my last show that I did at Wake, which thankfully it wrapped up right before the pandemic kicked in, was a show that I did. It was called Ever in the Glades, based on like the Everglades. It was about a group of young kids who were surrounded by all these adults, and these adults were just cruel and like oppressive. They were like roped into this system and the society that was just like suppressing all the younger generations, and the kids in the show were more so like the picture of youth and innocence and their like struggle to break out of that system that was surrounded by these adults. There's like this sort of metaphor that was going on with like all the adults being like the alligators that were living in the glades there. Pretty interesting concept. The play and like the play itself is pretty young. The book, or the play I should say, was only written back in like 2018, I want to say, or 2016, very recently. So we were one of the first places to produce the show,
to bring it to life. Yeah.
That was the best role that I've had in a show before. I was one of the kids. There were like 5 of us who was trying to break out. it was just a really good experience to be in that show, to have such a major role, and for that to be my send-off show. It just felt validating after a bunch of years of having a part but not really being the center of attention, and I'm not the best actor, admittedly. Lots of the people that are with most, I would say, were more talented than me in that regard, but it just felt validating to be able to get that experience before I left college. So that's probably what I would label my best or my favorite experience.
Well, I'm really glad you actually got to finish that out, given that if it was later on in the year, like COVID could have changed things, but
yeah.
But that's so cool, like being that you've literally had almost every single role in terms of like building like the production, like from like a management side, from like a role side, from like maybe even script writing to a certain extent. But
I guess I dabbled in a playwriting class, but I'm not that great a writer.
But no, that's really cool. Thanks for sharing that. I think when you start something and you get to see it in life in action and people actually enjoy it and seeing their reactions, that's one of the most like fulfilling things, And that's also the exact same fulfillment that I get whenever y'all smash the like button. So smash the like button. If you guys enjoyed the podcast so far,
the Midwest fucking sucks, bro.
I'll leave that in here. So yeah, Jonathan, thanks so much for joining me and for being another guest on the show. What I like to do is to end with some motivational or some inspirational advice for anyone who's watching, who's made it this far. If you have any like motivational quote or inspiration or just any life lessons that you want to share, the floor is yours. It can be anything and everything. So please, Jonathan, take it away.
Wow, this is very open-ended. All right. You want my nugget of wisdom? Here we go.
Spit it out.
There's a lot of stuff that happens on in life, and whatever you're going through, I guarantee you this helps. Life is way too short to be worrying about whatever that small thing is. You gotta just do what makes you happy, You can't stay in a position that keeps you unhappy because you're focused on the long term or whatever like that. If whatever that means to you, that could mean take that position at that job. That means go ask that girl out or something. That could be as simple as saying, that thing that I've been putting off for months now, I gotta start doing that, or else I'll never get over that nagging feeling that I'm not doing anything with my life. It's just not worth it to put things off if you feel like you would be better off for having done them. Don't be in a cycle.
I really resonate, and I'm really glad you shared that nugget. That was a very solid nugget. Thank you for sharing that. Honestly, like, the viewers just got that for free. I should maybe even cut that.
No, I gotta start charging people.
Yeah. No, I think that's very fair, and that's also one reason why I'm actually doing this podcast. I feel like I've always wanted to learn how to video edit. I've always loved being able to create and being able to show off all my awesome friends and like what they're up to. I feel like that's like something that's super cool. So definitely took that piece of advice there, Jonathan. And yeah, again, thank you so much for being on the show. You know where I live. feel free to dab me up and we can get this thing rolling. But that'll be a wrap for episode 3 of Sippin Soju podcast. Stay tuned for episode 4. Peace.
All right, that was legit. Okay, you hear that, boys? 100,000 subs.